Hello, welcome to the Chit Chat Knits podcast. My name is Darcy and I'm the maker at Chit Chat Knits Designs. Today is October 16th. It's beautiful fall sweater weather here. Today I'm wearing my Slip Crazy cowl. I think I showed this on my first episode. I'm so happy to have it be cowl weather, shawl weather, sweater weather, and sock weather. And even hat weather. It's cool enough over the weekend that I got to wear some of my new hats, so that was exciting. I'll tell you about some of our fun weekend events, and then we're going to get into some fun knitting and just a tiny bit of crochet. On the beginning of the video, I put some pictures, and the first picture you saw was taken out our window. We live in a beautiful spot in western Wisconsin, and we're so grateful for the beautiful view that we get to look out at in the mornings and in the evenings too. It's beautiful. We're getting some color change. The leaves are changing across the lake. And so we just have such a nice view. Another one of the pictures you saw was at an event we went to over the weekend. It was a friend of ours has a performance space in a barn. It's an open air section of an old barn. And he has made a performance space there, and he invited us over for a chili feed and sort of some bluegrass music. The gentleman with the accordion and the guitars playing at the bonfire were singing cowboy songs, and my husband took that gorgeous picture. And let me tell you, I had been outside that day for actually a ukulele event, which I didn't get any pictures of, but it was so cold at our ukulele event that I was just chilled to the bone. So I was sitting by that fire listening to cowboy songs, and it felt so good to sit by the campfire. Fall is just so perfect for those kind of events. And in a little while, I'm going to show you a hat that I made in the last week that has some beautiful fall colors. Oh, and another picture you saw was our son and I. He was visiting, he was at a conference this weekend in the Twin Cities, and so he was coming through, and so we got to have a really nice dinner with him. That's the news of late. We had some fun events this weekend, and I got quite a bit of knitting done. Let's get started. All right, I said I'm wearing the Slip Crazy cowl. Let me tell you a little bit about this pattern. I love wearing cowls. They keep my neck warm. They're easy to wear. You know, this one comes down to a V. So it's like wearing a shawl, but easy to wear. And this pattern came about, well, there's another version called the Slip Crazy shawl. That came first, and then the Slip Crazy cowl. But let me tell you how that came about. It was a year and a half ago, and I was cleaning in my crafting room, and I decided to clean out this little dresser that I have yarn in, and I started pulling them out. And then I thought, well, I wonder what would happen if I put two totally different fingering weight variegated yarns together that you would never think go together. That's the idea behind these patterns, because we all have those skeins that we purchase and then maybe they're in stash and we just haven't used them, and it's fun to see what you can get when you combine them. And it's using slip stitches, so it brings up the colors, it brings one color up to the other. So it's always changing. If you use a variegated or a short stripe, you're always getting color change. And the challenge in this is to take two that you would never, ever think of putting together and see what you get. I was sharing this idea with my friend who is visiting here from North Carolina, and we were at our local yarn shop, and she was going to make the shawl. So she was picking out some yarn, and I was pulling two skeins off the shelves that just did not match at all. And she was really nervous about picking two skeins that don't go together. And I said, if you don't like what you get, I will pay for the yarn. I will buy it for you. But if you like it, then you can just pay for it, because she was paying for it initially. And so she got two. She was really hesitant about them. She started knitting that weekend and loved it. Take the challenge. Go in your stash, pull out two fingering weights that you would never think to put together, and give it a try. I've also used just some mini skeins to add some color breaks in there too. It's just a fun challenge. Challenge yourself to not make things match. I hope you'll give it a try. Before I go on with knitting, I want to show you that I finished my granny square blanket. Now I can't really, it's so big. We're just going to get a peek at it here. But let me show you what I did. So I think I was really almost to the end last time. I think I just had to go around the edge. And I did have someone ask, how did I go from a square to a rectangle? So I do want to explain that. I maybe didn't explain that very well last time. So I was making my granny square. I started, here we go. So you see it's, just square. I started with a pretty big blue square and then just went around 2 rounds, double crochets. But then I wanted it longer because I like to sit in my chair and have it, come up, cover me and cover my feet. But I didn't want to keep going wider. So what I did, you can see this, we get a good picture. This stripe right here was my last stripe where I went in a square. And then I just went back and forth. I think I did 6 colors on 2 ends to make it longer, to get a rectangle out of it. And then once I got the length that I wanted, then I wanted to put some kind of a border on it. And this is what I found. And it was so simple because, crochet, I need simple. But here's what I did. I just did, can you see that? 7 double crochets in one of the holes and then 1 single crochet in the next one. Let's get that where you can see it. Oh, there, that's better. 7 double crochets, 1 single crochet, 7 double crochets, 1 single crochet, and I even went around the corner doing that. That one I had to fudge a little bit to get the holes to come out right. Here, this one looks better. Let's turn it this way. That's a little fudged too, but there. It's okay. It's okay. It's just a scrap blanket. It's just for relaxing. And it is nice and warm. These cool evenings and mornings, I've been wrapping up in it. See, I have it on my lap now because it feels good. I just used leftover fingering weight and held them double. And I'm ready to start another one because it was fun to do this winter. Crochet, check. What else? Let's talk about the make along. I'm hosting the Warm Ears Mal, and I'm calling it Warm Ears Mal 23. I know a lot of my viewers have already jumped in and they're participating, and that's so exciting. This Mal is being held on my Ravelry group, Chit Knits Ravelry group, and on Instagram. And there's 3 categories for prizes. Instagram, using the hashtag WarmEarsMal23. The group discussion thread on Ravelry in the Chit Knits Ravelry group, and the finished object thread on the Chit Knits Ravelry group. It'll all be linked below. Exciting thing. Oh, and this Mal is going on. We have another month. We started October 1st, so we're only 2 weeks in, and we still have 4 weeks to go because it's running until November 15th. So you have plenty of time to make a hat, an ear warmer, whatever you'd like to make that keeps your ears warm. And I'm so excited to show you a beautiful prize that came in my mailbox. Here it is. Look at this adorable bag. Isn't that pretty? This was sent by Susan of Delightful Works. She does amazing sewing. It is such quality work. I've been a sewer my whole life since I was 7 years old, so a long, long time. And I know a bit about sewing. And she does beautiful work. She has, it's a box. No, not box bottom, bucket bottom. So it's an oval, such a cute shape. And with this, she also sent a little yarn cozy. Isn't that cute? Matches so well. So let me just show her card. This is Delightful Works, Susan Smith. Thank you so much, Susan. It is absolutely beautiful. I did take it out of the plastic just to show. The plastic is sitting right there on the table, and it's going right back in. Oh, that was so sweet of you, Susan, to send that. One of you will win this. All right. What else is new? Oh. I have a new hat that I worked on this weekend in finished objects. Let me show you. Last week, I showed, and on the front of this video, I showed this hat made out of Toad Hollow yarn, and I'm calling this hat the Moon Glow hat because I think it just this wavy line reminds me of moonbeams. Moonbeams? I'm going to call it Moon Glow. But I showed you last time some gorgeous yarn that I got in the mail from Bella Fio, Melissa of Bella Fio yarn. I'll show her, Bella Fio. And there's the yarn. Doesn't that remind you of the Campfire Cowboys picture? This is called Autumn Enchantment. Now, okay. I showed you that I made a red sweater. right? I was wearing a red sweater last episode. And now I'm showing that I'm absolutely in love with this reddish yarn. And I don't really wear red. But if it's a little soft, this is a little softer reds and pinks. It works well for me. Although my ukulele group wears red shirts, so I guess I am wearing red these days. Anyway, this is 100% superwash merino, 218 yards, 100 grams, and it is worsted weight. And last time I showed you, I made this one out of the Toad Hollow Moonstone. This was DK weight, and it's very nice. I like it, but I just wanted to see what would happen with the hat if I made it out of worsted weight. And I actually kept the same stitch counts, but I did go up a needle size, and I really love the way it turned out. So there it is. You can still see those ripples. It has the pretty cabling in the rip. I think that's what makes this hat so special. And I'm going to put it on to show you. It has a bit of a slouch, which I'm kind of liking. I think that looks cute. I don't usually myself wear hats with much slouch, but I like this. I think it's cute. Going up to a little bit of thicker yarn, I feel like gives a little more give in the ribbing. You know, when you're cabling, you're actually tightening stitches. So I just like that little bit more give that's in this ribbing. And I think going up the needle size gives it a little more stitch definition. So I've actually written the pattern for worsted weight. And this is the small medium size, and I've also written in directions for a large and extra large. And this is ready to go to testers. This one came together very quickly, and I just love it. Have fun. Gotta get some good pictures. So anyway, this is Moon Glow. Oh, and I always have to show the crown. This one only has like 8 sections to the decrease of the crown, and I think it looks a little bit different, and I like that. Okay, Moon Glow hat going out to testers soon. If you like to test, I'd love to have you. And then it will be coming out in the future. Not too long a time, because it's such a good time of year to be knitting hats. Speaking of hats in this time of year, I showed you, I think I've shown you the last couple episodes, so I'm sorry to duplicate things, but I wanted to let you know that the Dizzy Dots hat test is complete, and this pattern will be coming out this week. I'm shooting for Wednesday. Today is the October 16th. I'm shooting for 2 days, October 18th. And both of my yarns are by Knitters Brewing Company. Beautiful. I showed you these colors last time, so we won't get in too much detail, but I also wanted to show you a couple of my testers knits. So I'm going to break away here just for a second, and I'm going to show you the first one is by Jenny, and then the second one is by Leslie. I had asked for a Halloween. I mentioned that I thought this hat would look cute in Halloween, and Leslie came through with an amazing hat. Okay, I hope you like the Dizzy Dots hat. Be sure and watch for it. advertise that on Instagram to let you know. And I always do a special the first day I list my pattern. So be sure to grab your copy of the pattern. What else is new? What is on my needles? Well, last week, you may have remembered, I'm going to show you because it's tucked away here in my cute bag by Susan of Delightful Works. This is the bag she made for the Warm Ears Mail, but I have socks in it right now, not a hat. But anyway, I showed last time these yarns. Do you remember this? And look at this cake has gone all wonky. Do you remember these? And I was going for a Grinch inspired design. I thought this just kind of reminded me of furry Grinch fur. And I remembered where I got this. This was from a mystery set by Daisy Stitch Company. So it didn't have a name on it. It came with 2 others that I've already used, and I just had it in the drawer. But I kept looking at it and I thought, it kind of looks like fur. And I wanted to do something Grinchy, and so I added these 2 with it. And I believe these are by Nanette Wake Studios. She has beautiful, what do you call them? Mini skein sets. I have some that I have saved for a special project that's coming up next. We'll be going on my needles next. Anyway, that's beside the point. Last week, do you remember what I said? I showed the yarn and I said that I was going to cast on and see how far I got in 1 week. Did any of you cast? I know someone said they wanted to do it, but they had a sore thumb or had a little surgery on their thumb and couldn't do that. Anyway, would you like to see how far I got? Here it is. 1 sock complete. I'm going to call this design Grinch's Heart because in the Grinch story, it says that day his heart grew 3 times larger. I think it is. I should have looked it up and written it down. But I wanted hearts, and I wanted some kind of a design that showed movement, like his heart was beating larger. And then down the front, I know this is hard to see, but I just used some knits and pearls to create some simple lines that run down the top of the leg. So they go from here and just go down the leg. You can see that points down and they come down from there. And then I just decided that I wanted to do something fun and funky on the toe. So I just did some striping with the 2 colors. I love the way that looks. Isn't that fun? That is a great toe. That right there inspires me to maybe even do something, I don't know, more stripes somehow. Anyway, so I finished 1 sock and I've turned the heel on the 2nd sock. So I'm just taking out the gusset stitches. I know that looks pretty sloppy right now, but I will have a pair of socks in just a couple of days here. Yay! Look at this cute little stitch marker. It says joy. I had to have something. Oh, joy. Oh, sorry. It's not going to show, but it is cute. Moving right along. 1 complete sock and 1 quite a ways down. Yay! Those will be done in a couple days. If you're participating in the pigskin party, the Downseller Studio pigskin party, the challenge this month is to knit a pair of socks. So I almost have my challenge met. Yay! What else? 1 more little thing. My friend Diana keeps mentioning how much yarn has been coming to my house lately, and she is right. I need to put the skids on this a little bit, but this yarn was just too beautiful to resist. Here it is. This just intrigues me. Look at those colors. There's a blue, but it's a turquoisey blue, yellow, gold. Look at that. Some orange. There's even some speckly black dots in it. This is called kestrel, like the bird, the kestrel. And again, Bella Fio Studios. I just really needed some more of her worsted weight yarn because it feels so lovely. And this one is 75% merino and 25% nylon. Could be slipperoo socks with that nylon in it, but I have a feeling it's going to end up being mittens. I'm untangling it just so I always like to untangle it to see the colors. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I just feel like it's different and unique, and I really love it. Now, she does have this on her website, but it says limited. So if you really like it, you should go grab it. Because I get the idea it's not going to be, she's not going to continue this color. Oh, it's pretty, isn't it? I just want to cast it on right now, but I shouldn't do that. Too much else to do. Very, very pretty. Love it. Very nice. Well, that's about it for today. We have not a lot of events ahead. No travel planned for right now. Just enjoying being home. It is that time of year. In Wisconsin, we get a lot of leaves falling, so we will be out raking leaves. That's okay. That's all right. We don't have anybody around here to jump in leaves anymore, unfortunately, but we'll get them raked up. And I am full on ready to knit Christmas. How about you? I have some fun Christmas knitting plans that I want to get started on. Are you knitting Christmas gifts this year? I know I want to knit, I know for sure, one pair of slipperoo socks for a gift. And then I have some other little things I want to knit. Can't really talk about right now. But are you knitting something for Christmas? If you are, please tell me what you're knitting as a Christmas gift, because it is the middle of October, and that means that we need to get cracking on our Christmas knitting instead of waiting till December 1st and then trying to go like crazy on it. So let me know what you are knitting. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I wish you joy in all your making. Bye.